Hola, ¿cómo están? Gracias por venir al canal mío de YouTube. Suscríbanse, comenten y gusten. I don't know. Hoy va a ser un video de un story time que quiero compartir con ustedes y gracias por venir. For y'all that didn't catch that, thank you for coming, thank you for watching, subscribe, like, and this is going to be another story time for you guys. So just sit down, watch, get some popcorn, tell your girlfriends to come watch this because it's about to get juicy. Okay, this is kind of an embarrassing story. It's kind of one of those that I didn't want anybody to ever find out just because it's just disgusting and I just find it I didn't think I would ever be in this position basically. So this goes back to when I was in high school. I think I was a freshman. Yeah, I think I was a freshman. Then I had a best friend. I had a group of friends actually, but I mainly hung out with just one girl. Her name, I can't say her name. Let's call her Alexis, okay? Me and her would hang out every day. Me and her were like ride or die. We went to the same school. We went everywhere together. We were always sleeping over at each other's houses. Like, we were cool. We were always together. It was just something like that. It was just, we were always fucking together. Oh, I miss it now that I think of it. Okay, anyways. We were always together. I always liked hanging out with her. She was my bestie, okay? So, we would always talk about our relationships and stuff like that. And we would always tell each other everything, basically. So, at the time, I was dating that jerk, that guy that I made a video about, the one that cheated on me. If you haven't watched that, go check it out, because it's fucking crazy. But yeah, I would tell her about him, I'd cry to her, I'd tell her when he would cheat on me, I would just come to her, and she'd tell me, girl, you need to leave him, he's nothing, he's not good for you. She was a good friend. She basically was a good friend. She would always, like, tell him off for me. She was just a good friend, okay? That's just what they do, okay? So, I loved her to death. I was the same way with her. She was seeing this guy. Basically, they would never be official because he was a player. He was a dick. He was one of those guys that you knew he was coming because he was a dickwad. He would play with girls. He was just a player. He was known for that. He was known for always being an asshole, basically. So she was always crying about him. She was always like, I love him. He just doesn't want to make it serious. He doesn't want to make it official. And I was just like, girl, you do not need that nigga in your life. Like, you do not need him. So I was just like, get away from him. Porque si no, yo lo voy a chingar, vas a ver. And I was just like talking all this shit. I did not like him whatsoever. Now, I basically was always there, like I said, for her. So I knew him. I met him. He lived right down the street from her. I'm talking like right down the street from her. She lived right here. He lived right here. She lived right here. He lived right here. And we would hang out with him when they were talking, and he would come over, we'd go to the pool. It was just like that kind of relationship. I couldn't do anything about it just because she liked him. I wasn't going to be like, I'm not going to hang out with you, you know what I'm saying? So they finally ended it completely off, cut ties, everything, like gone, everything. I don't know what happened, but in the summer, we started to fall apart. Our relationship was kind of like rocky. We weren't talking as much. I was basically giving all my time to my boyfriend or my ex-boyfriend because I would go see him. He would lip bar, so I'd probably spend the night. I don't remember. But we stopped talking, and we would talk here and there on Facebook. We wouldn't really talk, and we stopped talking. So that's what happened with that. Summer goes by, and I'm still not hearing from her. Basically, we just cut ties. It wasn't like a bad thing. It was just like a mutual thing. Like, we got over each other, basically. So I thought we were okay. So in the summer, I went to this badass party. I don't remember who was with me, but I just remember there was a bunch of people. It was like a phone party, and I saw the guy she used to talk to there. So the one that we used to live across the street, and he came up to me. He looked completely different. I was just talking to him, telling him, yeah, how you been, blah, 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 making small talk. Let's just say your girl made a mistake, and I don't want you guys to judge. Like, I'm telling you these stories because I love you, and I know that you won't judge me, so please don't go over there and telling me, I know I did wrong. I know. I was taking shots after shots. Everybody was vibing. We were all dancing. It was a good time. I was kind of heartbroken. I think we broke up, me and my boyfriend, and I was just like ready to just like party. I wasn't looking for a new relationship, but I was drunk, basically. I was drunk. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I wasn't really conscious. I was like in and out. I was just feeling myself. And he was there. We danced together. One thing led to another, and we kissed. So we kissed, and that's all that happened. I went home, he went home, and that's the end of that night. Just that's it. That's all that happened. We kissed. So I felt bad because I knew that I did wrong. The next day, I was like, oh my God, I just can't believe I just did that to her. Even though we don't talk, it's just fucked up. That I would hate it if she talked to my ex. I would be like heartbroken because that's my ex. That's somebody you love. And I hated that. I hated that happened. But guess what? Your girl didn't stop there. He messaged her. He messaged me. I mean, her. What the fuck? He messaged me. He was like, I really had a good time last night. I'm trying to hang out. Blah, 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 basically. So I gave him a chance, and we started talking, and we started going out on dates. He would take me out to dinner. We would have a good time. I felt like he changed. I felt like we were on a different path. I felt like maybe there would be something there, and I knew it was so fucked up, but I just didn't want to let go. I felt like he was so sweet. You know how players are. They're so sweet, and I felt like it was different with me, obviously, right? I thought it was going to be different, but it wasn't. We start talking, and I tell him, you cannot tell anybody. You can't post this about you can't tell anybody. You can't let anybody know we're doing this, because I didn't want it getting back to her. Yeah, I know. I was fucking shady. I fucking know that. So I basically told him, if you want to keep this up, you got to keep it on the down low. Like, don't tell nobody, basically. Summer's over. We went back to school. I see her. We're starting to talk again. I basically cut ties with him because I knew that I was going to be friends with her again, and I just didn't want to risk it anymore. I was like, it's not worth my relationship with her. I can't do this anymore. So I just stopped talking to him. He keeps coming to my house. He keeps trying to hang out with me. He went to the school. He was already graduated, by the way, and he went to the school looking for me, and I was like, dude, you're going to get me caught up, and I'm not trying to get in a confrontational thing with her. Like, if she was bigger than me, not to where it was huge. She was just bigger than me. I'm tiny. I'm pretty small. I'm skinny. I can't fight. So I was like, dude, I'm not trying to do this right now. And he's like, no, I really like you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, but I'm not trying to do this anymore, basically. That's what I told him. So I go home that day, and I get on Facebook, because Facebook was popping back then, and your girl was popping. So I get on Facebook, and I remember my Facebook blowing the fuck up with notifications. People were talking to me. People were messaging me. People were asking me, like, what is going on with you and your best friend? Because I was always tagging her, so people knew who she was. And I was like, what do you mean? And people were like, are you going to fight her? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? So I go to my, like, wall where people write stuff, and I was tagged in this big-ass paragraph that she wrote saying, you're a slut, you're a skank, you're a fucking bitch, how could you do this to me? Meet me after school, meet me, I know where you live, I'm gonna beat your ass, you fucking cunt. Like, I'm sorry for using that word, but that's what it said. That's so fucked up, right? But not really. Like, that's what her reaction would probably be. So I was terrified. I was like, oh my God, I can't go to school. I can't even be in my house. She's going to come here. She's going to whoop my ass. I was like, how did she even find out? I go to my messages, and guess who told her? Fuck boy. He tells me, he's like, thanks for breaking up with me. Breaking up? We didn't even date. He was like, thanks for breaking up with me. Thanks for being a fucking asshole. You're probably a slut. You're trying to talk to other guys, and I wasn't. I wasn't a slut. I just realized what I was doing, and it was wrong. And I took it too far. And me and him just basically made out the whole time we were talking. That's the furthest it went. We made out. So I was like, no, I'm not trying to, like, I can't believe you did this to me, basically. You did this because out of spite. He's like, yeah, you're a fucking bitch. I can't believe you fucking did this. So finally, I get around school, and everybody's looking at me, and she's coming down the hallway. I'm holding my books, my coloring books, right? And I'm just like, oh shit, with my backpack, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna get my ass whooped. She comes up to me, and she starts yelling. She's like, bitch, blah, 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 yelling, doing all these hand movements. I'm just standing there like, just calm down. Can we talk about this? Like, basically telling her that. So my homeboys come over there, and they, like, block it. They're like, I'm not going to let you have it with her, blah, blah. Like, they were, like, protecting me, basically. But they weren't going to be able to protect me outside of school. So it saved me for a moment. And I was just like, peace out. I'm going. So I went home. I am on my way home. And my grandma picked me up usually, and we would drive home from school. And I noticed that the car behind us was hitting pretty hard to our bumper. They weren't hitting it, but they were like close as fuck. And I was like, oh shit. So I look back, and it's her and her sister driving to my house. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to get my ass whooped, blah, blah, blah. So I get off, and I tell my grandma I gotta go see my friend down the street, because she knew I would always hang out with this one girl down the street. She's like, okay, bye. So she goes inside. I tell her I'm not trying to do this in front of my house. Let's go to the park. So I call up my friend Bethany. Oh, yeah, okay. And she comes with me, and she comes with me, and we walk to the park, and she's like, what do you want me to do? And I was like, I'm not trying to have you help me. I was just wanting you to record. So we had, her sister was recording, and my friend was recording, and we stand in front of each other. And I think it went up on Facebook. I don't think it's up anymore, or I don't have a Facebook, but it was up for the longest. I think somebody uploaded it on YouTube. I don't think if you could find it anymore. I don't know. It was a long time ago. So she comes up to me, and she's like, hit me first. And I'm like, no. She's like, hit me first, bitch. You stupid ass, blah, blah, blah. And you see fuckboy drive up he gets off and he's like, y'all need to stop fighting over me, blah, blah. And I was like, we both looked at him and we're like, we're not fighting over you. We're fighting because of you, because of the drama you built. Like, it wasn't because of you. We're not fighting for you anymore. Like, it's not about that. And he's like, yeah, whatever, blah, blah. Like, he was yelling at her. He was like, if you put a hand on her, you know she's tiny, blah, blah. He was trying to protect me now that he did this. He did this, and now he's trying to protect me. But anyway, I was like, you know what? Just get it over with. She comes up to me, pushes me. I get up, push her, she falls, she grabs my hair, and after that, I don't remember. We're just knocking heads. All I remember, it sounded like coconuts in that video. Like, it was like, it was bad. So we were just trying to hit each other. My nails broke. I had nails, and she was ripping my hair. I was ripping hers. We were on the floor. She was on top of me for a long time. I'm tiny, like I said, and so I turned over, and she hit me in my nose, and to this day, I still have, like, a fucked up nose, kind of, like, it's kind of like, to me, I feel like it looks fucked up. My boyfriend's like, I don't fucking see it, but I'm just saying, like, I could see that shit, but whatever. But anyways, he's like, y'all need to stop, blah, blah. He was yelling in the back, so he separates us. And I'm just like, I can't believe you just hit somebody that used to be your best friend. She's like, I can't believe you fucked him, blah, blah. He told me y'all fucked and shit. And I was like, bitch, I did not fuck him. Like, I did not fuck him. And she's like, y'all didn't, blah, blah. You're lying, blah, blah. I was like, no, I'm not. You know I'm not. Because at the time, I was like, I had just lost my virginity to my ex. So I was kind of like an innocent kind. Like, I wasn't trying to, like, jump into the next guy. So she's like, I don't know, blah, blah. So at the end, we ended up going our separate ways. The video went viral. People were talking shit for like months. People were like, yeah, you got your ass whooped, because it looked like I did, but I probably did. But I don't even remember. So, because I'm fucking little, I don't know. I don't remember what I did. It was my first fight ever. So I think I just pulled hair, basically. And yeah, that was the time that I got in a fight with my ex-best friend. And yeah, we were done after that. We weren't friends anymore, and I don't know, at the end of the day, it's cool, because we both lost the friendship, and yeah, fuck boy, I think he went to jail, and I think he's still in jail to this day. Like, he did something, I don't know, killed somebody, I don't remember, but yeah, whatever, I'm done.